Virgin Galactic Bloomberg interview is out now, and it's a very watered down presentation because I'm no longer in it. I retracted my interview. There was 3 interviews that I did, so there's only text in this interview now, and it's very much watered down. But let me share with you what's being said, because it wasn't just me they spoke to, of course. There were others, including Andy Shovel as well. So let me share with you the information. Please tap the like button, subscribe and ring the bell. I decided to remove myself from this because of the delay, Virgin Galactic responding and the lack of response and all the rest of it. I want debate. I don't want to use Bloomberg to get fame or a few subscribers. I don't do that. I don't like talking to the media and providing them with content so I might get some subscribers. It's not me. It's not who I am. So I retracted. Virgin Galactic didn't want to respond, kept out of it. So because of all of that, and all the delays and all the messing and sodding around, I said I don't want anything to do with it. I want debate, not use it to gain a few subscribers. That's not what I do. That's not what this channel is about. Here is the item. This is from Bloomberg. Even Virgin Galactic loyalists are starting to lose faith. Shares drop. You can see that. Let me go into the report here. Rainer Harris. Now you know who the person is that I was speaking to, and doing calls as well to record all this information. That was the person. You can now see who it was. It's just come out a couple of hours ago, and it's all watered down now because the majority of the content is gone. We spent hours recording this. After braving years of ups and downs of Virgin Galactic, even its most loyal investors are losing faith, it says here. The final straw for many was a 1-for-20 reverse stock split last month intended to get the shares back above $1 to comply with the New York Stock Exchange listing requirements. The stock has already lost much of that article created value, leaving investors with fewer shares that are worth far less. It's the most volatile stock in my portfolio, says Neil Ryan, a retail investor in Derbyshire, UK. It's a toss of a coin whether this is going to go bust or not. This is not accurate here. The final straw for many was the 1-to-20 reverse stock split intended to get the shares back to above $1. That's correct. With the New York Stock Exchange listing requirements, the stock has already lost much of that artificially created value, leaving investors with fewer shares that are worth far less. That's not really accurate. Yes, the shares are worth less, but it's the same value that you hold in the company. If you had 20 slices of bread, you now own 1 loaf of bread. You have the same. It's not like you have fewer shares. You have the same position, the same interest in the company. So that is bad reporting there from Rainer. Anyway, it's the most volatile. We've just covered that one. Individual investors own slightly more than half of all Virgin Galactic shares. Yes, they do. And we represented 95% of the world's retail investors at the time we did the petition. Believed in space tourism, but delays in launching trips and high cash burn have left them to question whether the company is sustainable. Virgin Galactic was the first space tourism business to go public when it debuted in 2019. After that time, the company had about 700 people ready to pay at least $250,000 for a 90-minute flight to see the curvature of the Earth. But then Virgin Galactic had to restate its 2020 results over accounting issues. Chamath, who helped it to go public, sold about 213 million of his shares in 21 and reassigned as chairman and resigned, as chairman in 22. Richard Branson, Virgin Galactic's founder, also sold about 300 million in 21, and launch delays piled up. Virgin Galactic didn't carry its first paying customers until 2023. Flights paused. Long-time shareholders knew that the firm had paused tourism flights in June to focus on building its next-generation Delta ships. They are counting on the new vessels launched in 2026 to boost the stock. Oliver Chen and other TD Cohen, an analyst, sees reason for optimism. They wrote last month that frequent flights of Virgin Galactic's Delta with 6 passenger seats could clear the backlog of about 800 existing ticket holders in about a year. This would make way for future sales that will now be $600,000 per person. Not all of tickets will be $600,000 per person. At the space tourism firm still only faces competition from Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin, which is yet to announce pricing for tourist flights. There is no competition from Jeff Bezos. In May, it appeared that Virgin Galactic investors' faith was being rewarded. The company's shares jumped along with other meme stocks after Keith Gill. Now, this is what we spoke about. He's getting information from me now, but I'm not going to be referred to this anymore because I retracted it, and our interview is not even being able to be used. Who drove the first meme mania in 2021, returned to social media hinting that the stock that he was back in the game. Some Virgin Galactic traders thought the craze was going to keep going even higher, said Dave Graham, a retail investor in Toronto who discusses space stocks on his YouTube channel. It didn't. Oh dear, oh dear. It didn't, and shares again began to fall toward $1. If it remained below that price, it risked delisting by the New York Stock Exchange on June the 12th. Virgin Galactic's board, which had been mulling a reverse stock split of between 1-2 and 1-20, announced one at the top end of the range. Shares sank on the news. Community despondent. Certain retail investors have lost more than they could afford, said Ryan, the UK investor who also has an investing YouTube channel. There's hidden meaning behind all of this. I can now tell you that when I took away our actual interview, not just text like this, our actual recorded interview, and I said you can't use it, Rainer, who's a very young, and I'll tell you, he's also an intern, slammed the phone down. He wasn't very happy with me taking out the main interview. So he's constantly referring to YouTube channels. It's not going to concern me, mate, that I don't get subscribers. I couldn't care less. That's why I took away my interview. Otherwise, I would have let you use it. I don't care. So the constant referring to YouTube channels is a little dig. I know that by his tone and the way he slammed down the phone. People who posted frequent investment updates have been quieter, he said. The community in general has gotten quite despondent. When asked for Virgin Galactic's strategy on the reverse split, a company spokesperson referred to the firm's June 12th proxy statement, which detailed the importance of maintaining its New York Stock Exchange listing for liquidity and future capital raises. Ryan believes in the future of space tourism, but is not sure Virgin Galactic will survive to achieve it. The business is just one disaster from completely disappearing, he said. Hopefully not. Others on Wall Street have doubts the company has enough cash to survive. Virgin Galactic reported $195 million in cash and cash equivalents at the end of its first quarter in 2024, down from $416 million in the same period a year ago. A Virgin Galactic spokesperson pointed to the company's earnings call in May, where Chief Financial Officer Doug Ahrens said the balance sheet remained strong with $867 million in cash equivalents, and marketable securities. The Chief Executive Officer, Michael Cole-Glazier, said he expects a positive operating cash flow after 2 of the Delta ships launch. No real news. Lee Webb, a photographer in Worcestershire, UK, who runs a Facebook group for Virgin Galactic investors, has been an optimist for years. These are very, 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 very small Facebook groups. I told him about this one. He saw Branson's share sales in 2021 as a vote of confidence that suggests the company was in good place and needed less of his input. Yet he has concerns now, shutting down for 2 years with no real news of that of what's going on behind the scene. It doesn't sit well with me, Webb said. I'm willing to ride it out because I hope that someone deep down inside the company actually knows what they are doing, he added. Travis Hoyam, Of course, we know about Travis Hoyam from the Motley Fool, infamous Travis Hoyam. A retail investor in the Minneapolis area watched a Virgin Galactic launch in January. He sees himself as part of a close band that includes past travelers on Virgin Galactic's 12 tourist flights and those waiting for future rides. It was much more of a community than I realized, he said. Hoyam, who put about 1.5% of his portfolio in Virgin Galactic last year, knows his investment could grow exponentially or flatline. Yeah, it could go up or down, but he's holding on for now. If we're not taking risk, then what are we doing? He asked. Andy Shovel. There he is, my mate, Andy Shovel, co-founder of plant-based protein company This in London, owned about 450,000 in Virgin Galactic shares in 2023 by mid-June. These were worth about $60,000. They're now worth 60,000. Yes, I try not to think about it. He said, with assistance from Matt Turner. And let's have a look. There you go. And as you can see there, he hasn't included. This is terrible. This is a part of why this whole thing was a manipulation. I actually had a full recording. It wasn't just this text. And I had 3 long calls recording all of this, which I took out of the, which I would not allow him to use. What is sad to see, and I really feel it's wrong, and he said, and it's really, really bad of him, he said, when I first spoke to him that I was going to do it and it would get full reaction from Virgin Galactic, which there is now none. Virgin Galactic have not responded, as you can see, at all. I said, are you going to use, part of my stipulation would you use the links to my YouTube channel and quote my YouTube channel, not just Martyn said, like he's mentioned, these people here. They didn't get any benefit out of that at all. There's no link to their channels. There's no name of their channel, just their Christian name. Doesn't really help them in any way, and that's a bit naughty because he promised he would do that. But there you go. That's how the media work, and that's partly why I refused to be involved in all this and took my story out and the recording, which was much more useful, out. So there you go. Now you see the full story, who it was. He's an intern and he's trying to make a name for himself, and he made lots of mistakes. He said to me, I shouldn't have told you the date would be Wednesday. I shouldn't have said the date would be Thursday and Friday. And then because we were waiting for Virgin Galactic to respond, which Virgin Galactic haven't responded, and it's a very much watered down, very pointless interview statement now than what it was. There it is. Now you see it all. There you go. Glad to have nothing to do with it. Click above my head for all the links down below in the description. Over here and over here, I'll put some more stuff. No idea what that stuff will be, but there it is. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.